Stop scrolling. God wants you to hear this. You've been stressed, overthinking everything, but God says, I am with you. You're not alone. Give it all to Him right now. You replay the betrayal in your mind every single day. You are trapped in an exhausting, relentless loop of overthinking a relationship that broke you. When the room goes quiet and the world falls asleep, your mind wakes up. You keep asking yourself what you did wrong. You retrace every conversation, every text message, every shared moment, searching for the exact second they suddenly turned cold. You wonder how someone you trusted completely, someone you prayed for, someone you poured your soul into, could walk away after everything you did for them. There are wounds the world can clearly see, the physical scars, the tangible losses. And then there are the silent, invisible wounds that carry the deepest, most suffocating pain. It is the pain of loyalty being repaid with betrayal. It is the pain of loving people who smiled in your face while slowly, systematically destroying your peace behind your back. Tonight, if your heart is heavy with that silent disappointment, if you are exhausted from carrying the weight of a broken trust, hear this clearly. You were not betrayed because you were worthless. The enemy wants you to believe a very dangerous lie. He whispers into your spirit in the quiet moments that you were not enough, that if you had just been smarter, kinder, more patient, or more accommodating, they would have stayed. But you must reject that lie immediately. They did not betray you because you lacked value. They betrayed you because they could not stop the purpose God placed on your life, and their spirit was incompatible with your destination. Chapter 2: The Spiritual War Behind the Betrayal. The enemy often sends betrayal precisely when your destiny is growing. It is not a coincidence. It is a calculated spiritual attack. The enemy does not waste energy attacking people who are standing still. He attacks people carrying destiny, people carrying healing, people carrying influence, breakthrough, and light. Betrayal is the ultimate weapon because it creates profound emotional exhaustion. It breeds deep-seated insecurity, paralyzing fear, and a pervasive distrust of everyone around you. The enemy hopes that if your heart is wounded deeply enough, if your trust is shattered completely enough, you will stop becoming who God created you to be. You are attacked emotionally because your future carries too much value to be left unchallenged. Think about the timeline of your pain. Some of you started experiencing this betrayal right when you began getting closer to your purpose. The moment you started growing spiritually, the people around you became uncomfortable. The moment you started setting boundaries and protecting your peace, certain relationships became unstable because those people stopped benefiting from your weakness. Suddenly, their true intentions became visible. Some people loved the broken version of you. The broken version of you was insecure, dependent, and easy to manipulate. The broken version of you accepted the bare minimum and called it love. But healing changes people. Growth changes people. Purpose changes people. And not everyone is equipped to celebrate your transformation. When God begins rebuilding your confidence, the wrong people become deeply uncomfortable because your new light exposes their darkness. Stop blaming yourself for people who were never meant to go where God is taking you. Your next season required separation. Chapter 3: The Pit, the Palace, and the Purpose of Pain. When you feel abandoned and misunderstood, look to the blueprint of those who walked this path before you. Think about Joseph. Joseph was not betrayed by strangers. He was betrayed by his own brothers, the people who shared his blood and his home. The dream God placed inside Joseph created intense jealousy in the hearts of those around him. They threw him into a dark, empty pit because they believed that by burying the dreamer, they could bury the dream. They could not stop the favor of God resting on his life, so they tried to destroy him emotionally and physically. But what human hands meant for destruction, God intricately wove into destiny. Joseph's pit was a prerequisite for his palace. Some of you are standing in the middle of your pit season right now. You are emotionally crushed, looking up at the sky, asking God why the people you loved became the people who hurt you the most. Betrayal hits entirely differently when it comes from someone you trusted deeply. You expect your enemies to attack you. You have your guard up for them. But betrayal from a loved one cuts straight to the bone because your heart was open and undefended. You must understand that God does not want your future controlled by this past pain. Yes, they lied. Yes, they broke sacred promises. Yes, they abandoned you when you needed them most. But human betrayal cannot cancel God's divine purpose over your life. People can wound you emotionally, but they do not possess the power to destroy what God has already decided about your future. Look at the life of Jesus. Judas betrayed Jesus with a kiss, the universal symbol of affection and intimacy. Jesus was perfect. He was flawless in his love, infinite in his compassion, and yet he was still betrayed. If perfection could not prevent betrayal, why do you think your flaws are the reason you were betrayed? Stop measuring your worth by how broken people treated you. Sometimes, your kindness simply exposed the unhealed wounds inside people who did not know what to do with genuine love. Chapter 4. The illusion of closure and breaking the cycle of overthinking. The hardest part about betrayal is the heavy silence it leaves behind. It leaves you with a mountain of unanswered questions. You never received closure. You never got honesty. You never got the tearful apology or the thorough explanation you deserved. Some people hurt you and walked away like your pain meant absolutely nothing to them. And so, you wait. You keep waiting for accountability that never comes. But here is the painful, liberating truth. Closure does not always come from people. Sometimes closure comes from God healing what other people damaged. Not everyone who hurt you will apologize. Not everyone who betrayed you will ever feel guilty. Some people justify the pain they caused because darkness blinds their conscience. Do not destroy your current peace waiting for people to suddenly become who they never chose to be. You are emotionally exhausted because you keep reopening old wounds mentally. You play the tape of your trauma on a continuous loop. You overthink every word. You imagine different outcomes, different arguments, different scenarios. And while your physical body has moved forward into a new day, your mind remains trapped in the prison of yesterday. God is asking you to stop living emotionally inside the old betrayal. You cannot heal a wound that you constantly reopen to see if it is still bleeding. Healing requires surrender. It requires trusting God with the fractured, delicate parts of your heart that people carelessly dropped. Chapter 5. Escaping survival mode and relearning trust. Many of you are living in perpetual survival mode. You survived things that changed your entire personality. You used to be loud, joyful, and deeply trusting. Now you are quieter, more guarded, highly anxious, emotionally drained. People see your body functioning, you go to work, you smile at the store, but your soul is silently struggling. Because of the betrayal, you struggle to feel excitement. You are suspicious of happiness. You constantly expect the other shoe to drop because betrayal trained your nervous system to prepare for pain at all times. Even when life becomes calm, your mind frantically searches for danger because pain conditioned you to stay on high alert. But survival mode is not a permanent residence. It is a temporary shelter. God wants peace for your soul again. He wants you to relearn safety. God wants you to understand that the betrayal did not surprise heaven. He saw every hidden conversation. He saw every secret motive, every manipulation, and every lie. Nothing escaped his vision. And even while your heart was actively breaking, God was already laying the foundation for your healing and your redirection. Sometimes, God allows a painful ending because he sees what you cannot see. He removes people because he knows they will become toxic to your future. We often mistake God's protection for rejection. You cry over closed doors, not realizing that what was behind that door would have destroyed you. You mourn the loss of people who were secretly praying for your downfall. Unanswered prayers are sometimes the greatest mercy God can provide. Chapter 6. The emotional ending and the ultimate release. Your story did not end the moment they walked away. The enemy wanted this betrayal to make you bitter, isolated, and permanently closed off from love. But God is actively using this heartbreak to prepare you for greater wisdom, stronger faith, and deeper spiritual discernment. Tonight, heaven is inviting you into real healing. not instant perfection, not the fake strength where you pretend the pain never existed. God heals honesty, not performance. You do not have to pretend with Him. He knows you are tired. He knows you are disappointed, and He loves you completely. It is time to release the betrayal into His hands. Release the heavy, burning anger. Release the toxic bitterness. Release the desperate, agonizing need to understand why it happened. You may not understand it today, and you may not understand it tomorrow, but one day the pieces will connect. Breathe in. Acknowledge the pain, but do not let it build a home in your heart. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still carrying massive purpose. Let the grace that sustains exhausted hearts carry you now. God can rebuild what human hands damaged. One day, you will look back at this chapter of your life, and you will realize that the very pain that almost broke you has become the undeniable proof that God can heal even the deepest, most silent wounds humans leave behind. Your future is bright. Your purpose is secure. Stop overthinking the relationships of your past and step fully into the destiny of your future.